All right.
It's going to be the name of your one-man show. I didn't have time to pour.
And we're live.
Yay!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Just Admit I'm Right with Ken Plume and Rebecca Watson. I'm Rebecca Watson.
And I'm Ken Plume.
And that squeaking you hear in the background is a newly ballless indie.
So we'll see what kind of level of engagement we get during this episode.
Hopefully, just the super obnoxious squeaking and no relentless humping like last week.
Always good for the audio podcast listeners to hear relentless squeaking. They never would have known about the humping.
That's true.
That was a silent threat.
Yeah. Yeah, but infinitely more distracting for me. So I'll put up with this. This to me is a good puppy right now.
So you went and did it.
Yeah, we did it. Everything went well. It was
Is it yes, everything went.
yeah, everything went.
Is it a short procedure, a long procedure? What is the turnaround time for it?
It's not bad. I dropped him off like 8 a.m., picked him up at 4. And it's that's mostly just so they can keep an eye on him for a few hours immediately after the surgery.
So emotional counseling.
Yeah. Well, he
still loves you.
I knew that he would, be alone in a cage for a few hours at least. So I left him his Darth Vader toy and I think the vet techs were laughing at me. But I was like, maybe it'll help. I don't know. And,
did it?
Well, when I picked him up, they said that he was extremely sad. That he was just the saddest looking puppy in the place.
We feel it is a sense of melancholy that has come over your puppy.
No, he's not a melancholy. He's a lab mix.
Oh.
See what I did? See what I did there?
I did. I did see what you did there, and then I tried to look away.
Thank you.
Because I did not want to see it anymore.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. Tip your waitress.
You will? Are we recording all week?
Yeah, every day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're doing every single day this week.
So. Ooh, maybe we should throw down a challenge. People start pledging to us, becoming patrons unmasked. That we'll give them.
I think we should do that. We should do a week or something where we do a show every day or something. That could be fun or terrible. No, never mind. Let's not do that. It's a terrible idea.
It's too late. You put it out in the universe now. What are you going to do if someone actually becomes a patron going, I only did this because you promised?
Well, then I'll say you're a dummy because I said, no, we're not going to do that immediately afterwards.
And they're like, I did that part through my squeeze of delight.
Squeeze of delight?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
That's the name of my summer tour.
Is that your Weird Al tribute band?
Weird Al tribute is Squeeze of Delight with my accordion.
Yeah. Can you
play
the accordion?
I'm glad. No.
Oh. I feel like I don't know. I thought there was a chance.
I own many instruments, none of which I play.
Well, why don't you learn to play one?
That is an excellent question.
Right
Next.
now.
Oh, I'll go grab the ukulele. We can have adventures right now.
Please
adventures through sonic monstrosity.
No, this is not a ukulele.
I took one lesson from Molly Lewis.
Oh, yeah. She's a good one.
A year ago, and I don't think I remember much of it.
Well, I think that you should make that a level for your patrons to support you. Like, if you get to a certain amount per month, you will learn to play the ukulele.
I don't know. The promising that I will acquire a skill.
It's too late. I put it out into the universe, and now it's there.
No.
It's now your patrons are going to want it. So.
Well, now we're going to have to combine the two, and I'll be learning ukulele during our nightly podcast record.
I mean, I can accompany you on the guitar.
Yeah, but you probably know how to play.
I mean, barely.
How barely?
I can play.
What do you know how to play?
I can play any number of sad indie songs from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
Like,
Which one will you be doing for us tonight?
name a magnetic field song. I can, I can play all of those.
Oh,
No,
what's the name of their I'm forgetting the
69
number.
love songs.
Love songs, yes.
Yeah, I can play all 69 love songs.
Oh,
No, that's not true. I can't.
what's
Some of them
the
are
what's
like
I'm trying to
very.
remember the title. What's the little words song? What's the
Oh, all
title?
my little words.
Yes. Go grab your guitar. No, no, you said you could do this. Where is it? I know you have a guitar in that apartment somewhere.
I do, and I do know how to
Okay.
play that song,
Of
but
course you do.
it will not happen.
It will happen.
No, I haven't. I have not picked up the guitar in months and
Oh,
months
well,
and
this is a good.
months.
You know what? There's a thunderstorm going on right now. I can think of no better time.
No,
Where's the guitar right now? How far from you
don't
is
worry
it?
about it. It's
No,
miles away. It's
it's too
miles
late.
away.
No, it's too late. You have to.
Let's talk
No,
about
where is
something
it?
else. Let's talk about Guardians of the
I,
Galaxy.
no, I really want to talk about the guitar.
No,
Oh, no, you said it.
no. Oh, by the way, in chat, and by the way, if you are watching this live stream, which several of you are, you can click through to YouTube and comment, and I can see it, and I will occasionally actually look and respond. So William in chat suggests a 24-hour podcast, which I did do previously with my old podcast, and it was a nightmare. It
I
was
also
terrible.
did one for Comic Relief
Oh, did
one
you
year,
enjoy
in
it?
which I did back-to-back bit of a chats.
So that filled all
Uh,
24 hours
I
with two back to
with
back bit of a chats.
individual guests. So over the course of 4 hours, I think I talked to 52 people. I had
Really?
50. Yes.
Because every bit of a chat I've ever done took 3 hours.
But the purpose of this was to have a whole lot of guests
Right.
to raise money for Comic Relief. So part of the draw was a hard turnover time
Like
at
that
30
to me
minutes.
would probably be. I imagine that was the most difficult part of that. Not staying awake for 24 hours, but applying a hard
There was a
stop.
time of drifting. There was some drift involved. Well, you got to think doing something for 24 hours means that you've been awake for longer than that
Yes.
because you have to actually get up and get prepared and then start the thing. So maybe by the end, I was probably up at that point for 30 plus hours.
For mine, I had to drive from Buffalo, New York to Connecticut and then do the 24-hour podcast.
Oh, well, that's just crazy.
Oh yeah, no, it was terrible. I hated every second of it.
What was the gimmick? Was it for charity? Was it just a...
Oh no, it was.
It was selfish,
Don't be
entirely.
silly. I wish it were selfish for me. It was to raise money for the podcast. So
It was a fundraising thing.
yeah, but not a charity. That was a
Well,
business that made money off of my time.
were you getting a cut of those proceeds that you were raising?
Not at that point, no.
Oh, well, then why'd you do that?
Because I'm a sucker.
Also the name of your one-man show.
Yep, because I'm a sucker. Yeah.
So 52, and the last guest, I remember there was a time, I think I hit the wall. I went from noon to noon, and maybe it's 7 a.m. is whenever I have a marathon session like that of staying up, I will hit a wall I have to push through where I basically just, my consciousness is ebbing.
Right.
So it's like, catch yourself while you're doing these little,
Yeah.
I'm doing a head bob
The
for anyone listening.
The head bob that happens. They
Yeah,
see
the
everybody
whip-
do on buses and stuff.
The whiplash maneuver.
Yeah.
Which I think at some point I am going to legitimately give myself a neck injury in dozing and
Yeah.
catching myself.
Yeah.
Because I do a nasty neck snap when I catch myself. Instead of just going, oh, just sleep, or maybe stand up, or just snap back awake without snapping your neck.
Right. No.
No,
No, the
there's
neck
no.
snap is critical for actually waking you up.
Oh, because it totally works. So once I pushed through that, then it was pretty smooth to the end. The only problem, I guess the best kind of problem to have, was the final guest was Weird Al.
Oh, yeah.
So 30 plus hours, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll just coast through this with nice, even, lovely, measured conversation with Al. But Al had a wonderful night's sleep.
Right. And
I'm
he was
sure a great
ready to bring it.
breakfast, and he's ready to play. So at that point, I was like, oh shoot. And all I remember is we did dueling Ringo Starr impressions.
No. Give me a taste.
So,
First, wait.
peace
First.
and love, peace and love, peace and love.
Okay, now do Weird Al doing Ringo.
Peace and love.
Wow. Okay, so I think that you think that your impression is better. That's what I gather from that.
Or my impression of Weird Al is phenomenal.
It could be. Yeah, that might be it.
If anyone wants to listen to that bit of a chat, it is available. It's out there on the web. All those chats are available.
Nice. So, Ken, let's. Well,
Weren't you
okay.
part of that? Didn't I talk to you?
I
for
was
that
wondering
ride?
if I was. I think I might have been.
I think you were one of them.
I didn't want to say it because if I was wrong, I didn't want it to be embarrassing.
I called in everyone I knew, so I would assume you were one. And we had at least done 17 bit of a chats by then.
Yeah. What should I search for? What was the to benefit?
Red Nose, comic relief, bit of a chat.
Okay. That was 2013.
It's been a while.
Okay, wow.
I think that was the 24-hour run where... Was that the marathon or was that the second time I did it? One of them, Paul Saborin of Paul and Storm,
Yeah.
ordered pizza.
I was
to be
not on
delivered.
it. Unless you
Whoa.
did another one.
No. Uh-oh.
Man.
Knowing you probably said you were too busy to do it or not available that day.
Possibly. I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of
Of the thing you shouldn't have given him?
of a squeaking dragon. I didn't give it to him. It's his toy.
Could have given him a non-squeak toy?
All of his toys squeak. Try finding a dog toy that doesn't squeak. It's impossible. Now I'm going to search through my emails to see if I have an email from you, like a thread talking about it. Oh my goodness. Yes, I do.
Oh, really? So what does it say?
Yep. I said I'm in. Oh, and then the next one is an email I sent to my friend Brian Thompson saying, I told Ken Plume I'd participate in his 25-hour-long podcast today, but I'm dying of some throat infection or something and I can't even talk. Would you sub in for me? So that's what ended up happening. I was dying. And yeah, there he is. He was number 23, Brian Thompson. Mystery solved.
See? I knew I would have asked you.
He did. And I knew I would have said yes. Sort of. I guess. Yes.
No, you found a way out.
Yeah. That happens to
That's
me a
right.
lot, though. I lose my voice
So,
a lot when I get sick.
It was 25. That's right, because it was the 25th anniversary of Comic Relief.
Yeah.
That makes sense for having the 50 plus participants.
Right. 52.
I think the extra 2 came because one or two of the chats were a duo, or just had extra people.
Oh, well, you had Paul and Storm on.
Okay, so I thought they had them on separately, though.
One thing, I guess.
Was it?
Oh, yeah, and you had 51 total.
51.
Yeah. So. And no, you had Paul and Storm together.
There are a lot of people on that list.
Yeah, I know a
I
lot of
know
these people.
Hodgman was there. Jonathan Colton was there.
The
Ted Leo.
previously mentioned Molly Lewis, Neil
Uh,
Denny, good friend of mine from Blighty.
Little
Yep,
podcast.
yep. Little Atoms. I used to plug it all the time on my previous podcast, and people were very confused because they would look up LITTLEADAMS because apparently
That was another
they don't
podcast
understand
done
the
by
accent.
Adam Savage.
That
It was
Adam
it was
Savage
his
what?
Muppet Babies version. It was Muppet
Oh,
Babies
Little Atoms.
podcast.
Right, I get it.
Thank you.
I'm with you now. All right. Ken,
We are just
what
joke machines.
what I have not done anything for my patrons since we last spoke.
What?
I know because I'm working on writing scripts and I'll be filming them tomorrow. But have you?
You've been back for a whole 4 days since we last podcasted. Did you accomplish nothing?
Nothing to show publicly yet.
Other than the ballless area underneath your dog.
Right. That took up a good deal of my time.
That was an accomplishment.
Yeah, that takes a lot of work. But what have you posted anything since then? It's only been a couple days, but just in case.
For me to say no, we would point out the hypocrisy
Yep.
of me being incredulous at your statement.
Sure would.
I'm going to say I did a whole ton of stuff.
Okay, you're a liar. In that case, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy because
I'm recording podcasts this week, so there will be
okay,
a new bit of a chats with some lovely guests coming up.
okay,
There, see, we're both in the process of creating things.
we are. So you're a hypocrite, but I forgive you. I forgive you.
I consider you a friend, but fine, if you want to call me a hypocrite.
Yeah, I do. I consider you a friend and a hypocrite.
Are you
That's how
fighting with your Apple Watch?
I'm muting it because it makes little dingy sounds into my
What?
microphone.
Who dinged you?
Bill Corbett retweeted me, and that sent me a ding. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
So,
Maybe next week we'll have Bill on.
yeah, or anybody. We keep talking about having guests on.
Yeah, I know, and neither of us are lining anyone up.
Nope.
What do our listeners think? Do they want to have guests?
Yeah, let us know if you want a guest on. We don't care. Whatever.
Otherwise, you're just going to hear us babble on right now about Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yes. So, should we do a spoiler warning?
I guess. Sure. I'm assuming you've seen it.
Yes, because you had said you wanted to talk about it, and I said that I was going to try to see it, and so I did. And
Okay.
let's talk about it. So yeah, spoiler warning for Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Check back in like 20 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, that's conservative, but sure.
Okay, so I loved it. You said that there was something very problematic about it. Oh wait, and by the way, William suggests that we need to get Hodgman or Molly Lewis on. So let's do that.
Well, we shall. I think both are doable.
All right. So yeah, I suspect I know what you thought was problematic, but I didn't feel that it was problematic in a way that made me not enjoy the movie. But I don't know. What did you think?
I did enjoy it. Mm-hmm. The aspects I did not enjoy. I found the treatment of the female characters within the film to be problematic, particularly the treatment of the Mantis.
That's
character
exactly what I thought you were going to say.
By Drax, which was it was the fact that it's and I've had this conversation with many people about, and they're like, well, Drax is an idiot and you can't take what Drax says seriously. It's that's fine if that is acknowledged by other characters actively while he's doing those, making those statements, the derogatory statements to Mantis.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and also, I would have liked to have seen more understanding and agency on her part,
Mm-hmm.
especially by the end of the film. Like, you can start her out naive. You know, there's one thing between being naive and unintelligent.
Yeah.
And I thought that was uh, a line they didn't quite understand, because she was a very intelligent, articulate character. Uh, and not to have learned by the end of the film and essentially called him on it
Mm.
bothered me. That all it needed was her at some point to go, well, I think you're hideous too.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the fact that even at the end, the point where you could have had a almost get out of jail card where he goes and, acknowledges that she's beautiful,
on the
but then
inside.
immediately has to go for the on the inside
I thought that was a
joke.
hilarious joke, though. I thought that was a good joke.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with it being a good joke, but the fact that it was at the end of that run and that run was never undercut
Yeah.
by anyone else, just for me made it, in a film that is packed with toxic masculinity. When you talk about the father-son relationship and ego's motivation,
Mm-hmm.
I thought was unfortunate. And the other thing that bothersome was uh, Peter Quill / Star-Lord's pursuit of Gamora,
Mm.
which was just give in. I mean, this is going to happen. Why are you making this difficult? Why don't you? We're Sam and Diane. Don't you understand that? We're supposed to be together. Why are you making this such a pain in the ass? My pursuit of you. Just dance already.
Yeah.
Don't you understand? That's what we are. I don't. There needed to be a romantic relationship, because if you're trying within the context of the message of the film to say that the Guardians are a family, that's incest. You'd be treating her as your sister or best friend,
Yeah.
not a love interest. There was no need to make her a love interest.
I agree with that.
And I think it diminishes her character and what they were doing within the film to pursue a trope like that.
I agree. Uh,
And at the
and
point she said no, he should have just went, okay.
yeah.
I mean, that's weird. It's weird to me just because it's in so many ways such a great, enjoyable, fun film.
Yeah.
And then
Still,
every
nothing
time
does
I was
happen, though.
enjoying it,
There is no romantic conclusion for them in the film. Was there?
yeah, you got at the end where he puts his arm around her and pulls her in when they're doing that Empire Strikes Back ending, watching Yondu's glitter
Right, but
float off into the void.
that's not even that's like so low on the bar of like romantic gestures. It's not a kiss, it's not sex, it's not getting married, you
Yeah,
know.
but within storytelling and filmic language, when his entire pursuit has been romantic, there's no obvious statement to undercut the interpretation. They're going, "Oh, hey, friend, let's console." And honestly, I would have liked it better if she pulled him in to rest his shoulder on her, since that was a bigger hurt for him that his daddy, Yondu,
Yeah,
had passed away, and he should be the more emotionally vulnerable one in that moment, not her.
I agree with that as well. You're right. Uh,
So,
Also, though, I do think that the intimacy, like that's what I think it's really about, is her opening up to the possibility of intimacy, whether that's romantic or just friendship or whatever. And so I think that that's the interesting part of them snuggling in a little at the end. But I agree with you 100% that, yeah, she should have had more agency in that scene. With the Mantis stuff, I really enjoyed that character interacting with Drax. And I think that because this is set up as, because it's a comic book movie and they're obviously set up for another film, I think they're giving her time to grow as a character. I think she did grow within the film, and it happened with her turning against Ego and actually being critical to stopping him by putting him to sleep. Uh, so like she did have an arc. It's just that the arc wasn't realizing that Drax was talking shit. Uh, well, he wasn't. It's not fair to say he was talking shit because he was just being honest with his opinion on how ugly she was. Um, but I think that she'll probably get there as she interacts with more people. But she pretty much only interacted with Drax, so that's like the only input that she's getting. So there's really
But
no
they were,
room for that growth.
but I felt they were all it needed to, again, just make me feel much better about it was, even if you had Gamora at one point go, Drax, shut up, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Just something where the characters around, because there were plenty of group scenes where there could have been a moment where they called him on his bullshit, or acknowledged that the way he was acting towards her is a Drax thing.
Yeah. I agree with that.
That is the thing that bothered me, that there wasn't even a consideration that essentially you spend the entire movie of this character relentlessly belittling her appearance.
Right.
And again, all it just needed was one little comment from any of the other characters to call him on it.
I agree with that. I think that would have
or
made it
have
better.
her have an evolution at the end to acknowledge verbally, I know what you're doing, this is just your thing, to where she has an understanding of why he's acting and saying these things.
I don't think that would be true to her character, though. She hasn't had enough time. Like, these are the first people she's ever interacted with outside of Ego. So I think that arc will happen in the next movie.
Well, then someone else should have been the one to help her on that journey of understanding that he's an idiot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Within this film, so the entire thing wasn't just belittling her right up until the end.
Yeah.
That even the sweet moment, the redemptive moment of their interaction, the fact that it was still undercut by, admittedly, as taken as a joke outside of what had led up to it, and the larger, broader view of that interaction was a great joke.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to not do the joke to allow the deeper emotion to stand on its own without going, oh, hey, I can also make a joke out of this.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the joke should stay, but I think you're right that having earlier have someone say, Drax, shut up, you're an idiot, would have helped. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, just some aside to her. I also thought it was, I don't know, seeing those things and the pursuit of Gamora romantically made me, I think, probably hypersensitive.
Yeah.
About the rest of the film, to the point of, when it was, as far as another beat that could have been somewhat redemptive for Drax, is when he tosses her into the ship at the end, when the Ego planet is dissolving and they have to make their getaway. The next shot you see is of Gamora sort of taking care of her.
Yeah.
Drax is on the bridge with Yondu's sidekick. I forgot his name.
Judge Gunn. Whatever his character is.
Yeah. The other gun. Yeah. Bro Gun. And Drax is doing nothing of import to what's going on. Basically, all he does is shout a couple of times, "Where's Quill?" If he had been doing that while also taking care of Mantis to make sure, that would have, for me, play to a deeper care and concern that he had for her, rather than dump
See,
and run, leaving.
I don't
But
agree.
meaning,
Like, because I feel like we already see that care, like the fact that he rescued her at
but I,
all.
but I don't know why he ran to the bridge. Why he could just continue to be the one making sure she woke up and was
Well, there were
okay.
like buttons to push and shit.
But he didn't do any of that either.
Maybe when the camera wasn't on him, he's pushing a
Well, he
button.
should have been down there.
Judge Gunn needed some backup over there. You know, he was doing shit, needed help. I'm gonna defend the movie on this part. I feel like we already.
Where's Quill?
I think
Where's Quill?
we saw Drax's soft side, and we know that he cares about her. That like him, you know, taking care of her in that instant wouldn't help her character understand that because she was unconscious. So it would be purely for the audience. And I think as a member of the audience, I already got that. I didn't need to see him getting all gushy, you know. And I wouldn't have liked to see him be gushy because he's not a maternal figure. That's, you know.
So you're saying that care and concern is strictly a maternal instinct?
It's what we call maternal. Yeah. I'm not saying that men can't be maternal. I'm saying that that's the
So
word
he
we
very
use to
well
describe
could have
that.
been there.
He could have, but it's not his character. His character is not a maternal character.
But that's why my argument is that I think it would have been an evolutionary beat for his character.
I think that would have been like over the top.
Right.
I don't think he's there yet. You know, like I think
Well, then she should have
that's-
woken up and gone, where the hell is that abusive son of a bitch?
Yeah, like, and that's something I could see happening in the next movie. Like, I could see him becoming more maternal, but I don't want it to happen in an instant like that. That to me would be artificial.
Oh, actually, you know what? Let's back up.
Mm-hmm.
He did show that instinct to somebody else at the end of the film that he could have showed to Mantis. If you recall, during the Empire Strikes Back gazing out at the stars moment, Baby Groot crawls up on his shoulder to fall asleep, and he does the nurturing baby tapping on the back motion.
Yeah, and that's really subtle. That's like a subtle maternal thing. That's growth. Right. That's the evolution that you were looking for.
But I think the entire interaction, the bulk of the interaction we had seen during the film was him and Mantis. I think that beat should have been a Mantis beat, and then you could still have that Baby Groot beat.
Disagree. I think he should. I think that character behaved the way that character would have behaved, and I still got the right amount of character arc from it.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna force you to admit I'm right here. I'm just gonna say it's my opinion.
And I will do likewise.
Okay. Have you seen Alien yet?
I have no intention.
No?
No.
Did you see Prometheus?
I did, and I thought it was a horrible piece of shit.
Yep, correct.
That it was pretentious. Mm-hmm. I don't think Ridley Scott is a good storyteller. A good director, yes. But as a storyteller, there's a reason that Alien was not written by him. Mm-hmm. He directed Alien, didn't write it. I have a problem with directors thinking they're writers. And also when they make these moves on reclaiming or making sure that everyone knows that they are the guiding force of what they perceive as their legacy. So I think what we get is this answers to questions I didn't want answered and don't need answered. And it undercuts the beautiful thing about the original Alien, and I would say Aliens. I was having this discussion today with someone who saw Covenant, and I was like, essentially, the aliens are bedbugs.
Like
the
difficult
first film,
to get rid of.
Right. The first film, you spot one,
Right.
and it's a pain in the ass and it freaks you out. The second film is about an infestation.
Hmm.
They are pests.
And then you need to
They're
know who made the bed bugs
Yeah, you never need to know that.
and
You never
why.
need to know what the agenda of the bed bugs is. They are an infestation and a problem, and I don't. And then A, I didn't need to know. B, I also didn't need to know with the incredibly just poorly conceived faux deepness of
Yeah.
what he's trying to construct with this mythology.
Like this weird creationist ideology.
I, it just
Yeah.
it's baffling. And then the other thing is, I'm not a fan of gore
Mm.
in films.
Al.
So when all you're giving me is half baked philosophy and a shit ton more blood and gore than were in either of the first two films, Ridley's or James Cameron's.
See,
I
I
mean,
did
if you
hear though that
aliens, okay,
Covenant's supposed to be more of a return to the original, isn't it? Like it's I haven't read any in-depth reviews because I'm gonna watch it no matter what. Tomorrow's half price movie night, so I figure I'll check it out then. Uh, but the small
your local
amounts that I
AMC.
heard, I don't know what. It's not a chain. It's just a local theater. Um, but yeah, I the small amount that I did hear was that it was much more in the vein of Alien than Prometheus in terms of horror and it actually being about face huggers and things instead of like weird aliens we don't care about.
See, that's the thing. I have no intention. I don't didn't care about spoilers. So, do you want me? Do we not
No,
want to
don't.
talk about this?
Yeah, don't spoil it for me because I do want to.
Because a lot of my problems would be
Okay.
spoiler material.
All
So
right.
maybe next week we'll
Yeah.
talk about. But that's generally, I mean, and the conversation remark that if you look at Aliens today would probably be a PG-13 film,
Mm,
other than a couple of fucks in there. As far as the visceral material that's in it, it's basically what you see in PG-13 films today.
yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of stuff that's off screen
Yeah.
in those films.
Yeah, definitely an Alien. I hadn't seen it in a long time, so I rewatched it a couple months ago, and I was surprised how little gore there was. Aliens, I have zero recollection of, so I have to rewatch that at some point. But I know it's supposed to be really good.
Well,
I don't remember though.
what I liked about when it came to the mystery, it didn't care about where the aliens came from. Aliens is about a corporation taking advantage of what they see as something they can make money on. It also doesn't care about the backstory of the aliens.
Yeah.
You have the characters within it have a motivating force to capitalize on an opportunity that's presented itself in the most horrible fashion possible. But no one's asking a deep philosophy. Well, but where did they come from?
Right.
And the first film, if you look at it as bugs and an infestation, they find the eggs on a ship that had an infestation of these things, and it's like going into a theater in New York City
Right.
that has bed bugs, and like,
Staying
oh crap,
in a flop hotel.
yeah, that I'm in a flop hotel. You stay at the Holiday Inn in Times Square, and you came home with a face hugger.
Right. I hate when that happens.
That's why you always check on the mattress as
Okay.
soon as you get into a room. Don't open your luggage.
That, for some reason, reminds me of an adorable thing that happened in New York. My boyfriend, who is Canadian, we were walking down the street, and I only mention that he's Canadian because it might give you a better idea of why he reacted to this in the way he did. But we were walking down the street like near Times Square, and some guys came along, and like they were like, "Hey man, hey man, hey man, you look like you like hip hop. You like hip hop?" And he's like, "Yeah, I like hip hop." And I was like, "Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go." And
How
they're
Canadian already.
yeah, they were
Oh
like,
yeah, I like hip hop.
right. They were like, "Here, take my CD, take my CD." And he's like, "Oh," and he takes it from them, and I was like, "Nope, nope." And I like reach over, and I'm like trying to make him give it back, but he's like holding on to it because he's just confused. And I was like, "We do not need any CDs." And he's like, "Does it cost anything?" And I was like, "Yes," just at the same time as they said no. And he's like, "Oh, if it's free." And I was like, "It's not free." And they're like, "It's free, it's free." And he's like, "Okay, well, thanks." And then he turns around and like, "It's just a small donation." And I was like, "Go away." And I like took the CD and I threw it at them. and
Now, can you back up and do this with the accent? I don't care if he doesn't have the accent or not, but I want to hear it.
Sorry,
But they said it's free.
they said it's free. Sorry. So, so yeah, like
I mean, about how much do you need?
it was so darling.
Sorry, my girlfriend says to take off, eh?
Yeah, and then they were like, we started walking away, and they were like, hey man, you dropped something." I was like, "Don't turn around." And he turned around, and they're like, "Your balls, your girlfriend's got them."
Oh, that's a good line.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I gave him the finger and laughed and left.
One thing, not the first time that they've had to use it.
Yeah, no, they were experts. So yeah, and
I mean,
he's like, "How is that? That's even a scam?" He's like, "It never occurred to me that that would be a scam. Like, I would have just bought their CD if they had said, I made this hip hop CD. It's $5. I would have given it to them." It's like, I know,
wow.
that's why I love you.
Like multiple paths to suckering him.
Yeah, yeah, I need to.
I mean, I just
him.
want to support them. They're creative, you know?
Right.
I mean, I want to support creativity. I mean, they're very nice.
Yeah.
And now you made me litter. I didn't want to do that.
Is there a fine for that?
Oh,
He does
no,
not
I'm
have an
gonna
accent, by the way.
I'm gonna feel bad all day. I don't believe you. From now on.
No, because that's the reason why I can't even affect a Canadian accent, because I don't have any close friends with one, so I
You've
don't have
gotten
anything
used
to
to
fall
it.
back on.
You don't hear it anymore. He totally has a heavy Canadian accent.
No, I've noticed occasionally he'll slip up because he worked really hard to get rid of it once he moved
Oh, so
to
he
the
did
US.
have one.
Yeah. Hmm. And
Have you ever just like, oh, talk Canadian to me?
no, but I will. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that in bed next time.
Ooh, how's this, eh?
We're gonna go to the bedroom, and I'm just gonna have like a jar of maple syrup
And a hockey stick.
and a hockey stick. And then I'm sure I can
Whoa.
say something about my
Oh.
beaver.
It's all coming back to me now, eh? Oh, jeez. Oh, is that a toque? Some Molsons.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna have
Tim
that night?
Molson's, yeah.
Molsons and Tim Hortons.
He hates Tim Hortons. He says that's why they kicked him out of Canada.
He's trying too hard to put it all
know.
behind him. That
I
is a
know.
lie.
I know.
What happens if you just sprinkle some Timbits on the way to the bedroom?
He would probably get legitimately angry at that point. That's where we
Well,
would cross
that's like
the
a
line.
waste of Timbits and also littering again.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me? Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
Man, I feel like you've been waiting to use your Canadian accent.
I
was
really
just
have.
building up inside you. Oh man.
It's like you're desecrating everything that my whole dear. You gonna make fun of Rush now too?
And I will. I have.
Geddy Lee is my god.
Who's Geddy Lee? Is that a person in Rush?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Why don't you ask him and see? Oh, you want to talk about Hold on.
He's into Canadian punk bands. So he took me to see Fucked Up a few months ago. They were really good, actually. Wait, are they punk or are they metal? I don't know.
I don't know. How much shouting was there?
Oh, there was a lot of shouting and
Now was it high pitched or was it guttural?
more guttural.
I'd say that's probably metal.
Let me see. Uh,
Is
ah,
punk.
hard
Is metal.
hardcore punk, according
Eh,
to Wikipedia.
they made that up.
I mean, who am I to question Wikipedia? Let me see what they put on their Facebook page. Nothing.
A.
Uh, they don't have a description of themselves on their page.
Very polite.
Uh, they kind of were. They were really good live, but like the lead singer is this big like bear type, who was shirtless and sweaty and like would jump into the audience and run around. He was very entertaining, but it was all very like I didn't get punched or anything, which I always just feel like I didn't feel in danger of being punched as I have at past like hardcore shows.
We
So
decided against a t-shirt cannon for fear of harming anybody. So if you'd like a nice form, an orderly line down by the front of the stage, we'll give you all t-shirts.
I was
Here you
looking to
go.
see
Thank you
if
very much. Would you like a temporary tattoo as well?
aw. So
For
yeah,
a $5 donation, we'll give you one of our CDs.
yeah.
See, Rebecca,
So
this is how it is in Canada. See?
they just hand you they push the CDs into your hands on the way out the door. And they're like, "Do you want to pay for like of a donation?" No, that's okay. That's okay.
It's
No
fine.
problem. It's fine.
It's okay. You want some back bacon?
Yeah.
We're all going to go and curl in the parking lot.
At first, I thought you meant like lifting weights, then I remembered the weird sport they do.
It's not weird, Rebecca. Respect our sports.
Even Canadians know it's weird. They like that it's weird. I'm pretty sure.
I was broom in high school.
Can you name another position in curling?
Rockman.
Is that what? That's not what he's called. You're joking, right?
No, no, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Curling positions. I'm looking it up. The team you play on is called a rink. What? That doesn't make sense. Why would you call it a? Okay. Gripper is the sole of one of your curling shoes. I thought maybe that was a person, but no. Hurry hard is a directive given to sweepers by the skip or third. Oh, you called it a broomer. It's a sweeper. Uh, the rock, also known as a stone. That's the thing. Uh,
That's the big giant rock.
that's the thing they do. The whole point of everything. Oh, here we go. The members: lead, second, third, and skip.
Hi, I'm Skip.
The third is also called mate or vice. So
Ooh, well, it depends on how intimate they are. I used to be Skip, but I moved up to mate.
no, I think skip is better than because mate is also known as vice skip. So so I think you start at vice skip and then work your way up to
One day
skip.
I'm going to make it up to Admiral Skip.
Great reasons to try the sport of curling, according
Oh,
to the
good.
page I'm
How
on.
long is this?
There are 6 great reasons. Number 1, you can play at any age. Number 2, both sexes can play.
Oh,
You
oh
mean
dear. Oh,
ladies
scandal.
can curl? Name a sport that both sexes can't play. I guess like dick swinging is a one-sex sport. But that's about it. Number 3, the rules are easy to learn. Number 4, you don't have to pay a lot to play, but I doubt that because I imagine you need access to an ice rink and
And a broom.
a 45-pound rock. Here's another one I doubt. Number 5, curling is good for your health. Citation needed.
I've seen how intense those sweepers are, and that seems like heart attack material to me.
I mean, you could also just
That
sweep
that
at
also,
home for the same
yeah,
amount of exercise.
I think that undercuts the age thing too, because I can see a lot of people just dropping dead.
Right. Good point. Yeah, if it's good for your health. Oh, and also the last one, it's wheelchair accessible. So, which I would actually really like to see a person in a wheelchair on the ice. Like, do they have ice chairs? I'm going to look this up.
Like you mean a sled?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a sled. Do they have like sled wheelchairs? I'm looking up curling wheelchair.
With like a team of huskies?
Wheelchair curling. They appear to just be on wheels in the Wikipedia page's picture. Whoa, yeah, they're just on wheels on the ice.
That would seem like they wouldn't get much traction unless they have special tires on it for the ice.
They look like regular tires. They don't even look like they have chains on them. I don't know. Oh, wait. Okay, wheelchair curling is played with the same rocks and on the same ice, though the rocks are thrown from a stationary wheelchair and there is no sweeping. Which really makes one wonder how important the sweeping is anyway, if you can have a whole alternate thing that doesn't have sweeping at all. But
So, I mean, then basically they're just throwing a rock then.
yes, it's people in wheelchairs on ice throwing rocks at each other. So, yeah. That looks even more boring than regular curling. So
Don't talk about our national sport in such a derogatory fashion.
I mean, I'm glad that people in wheelchairs can experience this amazing sport in all of its grandeur, but boy, does that look boring.
Now, because we really can't end this episode without finding this out. Text him and see if he likes curling.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm also curious to see if he instantly knows it's not a euphemism and he acknowledges that it's a sport you're talking about.
All right. I just said, do you like curling? Oh, he just texted a picture of fog pouring over the hills. That's nice.
Is that the answer?
No, he texted that before. It does look pretty good. I think he must still be on his commute, which probably means that he's playing Zelda on his new Switch. So we might.
So he's not
get an
driving
answer.
during his commute.
Oh no.
Driving along, playing the Switch.
That would be impressive, but probably not unique for the San Francisco Bay Area. I've seen some really terrible drivers.
Have you played Zelda yet? Did you get any Switch time?
I got no Switch time this weekend.
What?
Well,
that was the whole thing.
He would play a bit, and he was enjoying it so much I didn't want to horn in on it, so I would just play on the PC while he was playing on his Switch. But
so
I'm gonna wait for him
you need to get a second Switch. You need to get a second Switch, is what you're saying.
Yeah. No, but we did realize we have to get the controllers, like for when it's plugged into the TV.
The Pro controller?
Yeah. Yeah, which is a weird name because there are no professionals. There are no professional Switch players that were crying out for a larger controller.
Well, I mean, it is significantly better.
Yeah, so those tiny little controllers seem fine for when we're traveling and stuff, but yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just showed Rebecca a Pro controller. Or anyone listening to this.
We got Mario Kart, and I destroyed him, just absolutely obliterated him. So
I love when your competitive nature comes out.
So now
all emotion in the relationship departs. Just like, I destroyed him.
I murdered him. It was great. So I think he wants to get a Pro controller and like practice.
These cannot stand.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Honor of
competitive.
Canada depends upon it.
This is why I try to get him to play Overwatch because we can play on the same team and my competitiveness, works to our advantage.
Yeah, no, it's basically just shouting. Why didn't you do that then?
No, I'm good about that. I blame myself for things, but I don't lash out at teammates. I feel that that's poor sportsmanship.
I seem to remember a couple of comments about not in the group chat blueberries. Look at me use the term. And about them not strategizing or using ults at the right time to make the use more effective.
I will
A bunch
mock
of idiots.
I will mock the idiots on my team if I
I
don't know
see.
them. If they're not
Okay.
friends. If they're friends, I'm very forgiving. But if they're just random idiots, I'm going to make fun of them. Not
Do
to their
you
faces
call them?
though.
Do you call them blueberries too?
No, that where does that come from? I've never heard
I
that.
I think my understanding of it is because the people who are not in your group chat, their screen names are in blue.
Uh,
As I think they're in green if they're part of your group chat.
I see. Well, see, that
So
wouldn't work.
Hal Lublin, who we've
Right.
both played with, that's where I first heard the term blueberry.
That wouldn't work for me because when I play competitive, I play in the same chat with my entire team because that's the only way you can win. It's by
I don't like
communicating.
competitive, which
Yeah.
I just got access to the
Oh,
other night.
I'm probably never going to play on PlayStation because I just assume that PlayStation chat is just a nightmare. Like PC is bad enough. I don't need to deal with that shit.
They tried to pull in other people, strangers, on our chat
Yeah.
when I said, "Oh, fine, I'll do the competitive." Uh, I
No.
don't like the group chat aspect if I don't know people.
Yeah.
I have no desire for that. I don't want to suddenly be inside somebody else's psychosis and have to communicate. That's not my
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I could play the game without playing with anybody, I would do it.
There are
I
games
don't
like
like the
that.
pressure. I don't like the pressure of failing somebody else's expectation when I am not up to snuff on
Yeah.
their player level. That's not enjoyable to me. I want to just play a game and relax.
That used to be my problem with first person shooters. When I first tried it, I tried Team Fortress 2 on the PC and I hated it because I'm like, I'm so terrible and everybody else is yelling at me for not doing the right things. I have no idea what I'm doing because I just got the game. And so I played like 2 games and then I was just like, I'm done with this. And so when Overwatch came out, it had a lot of buzz, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to like this. I'm probably going to have the same reaction. But I'm like, if I get it now, everybody is just starting. And yes, there's going to be people that are coming from like Call of Duty that are going to be better than me, but there's like ranking. So I have a better chance of being with a other bunch of idiots like me. So I found Overwatch to be a much better introduction for that sort of thing.
See, I'm not good on strategy
Mm-hmm.
in games. I'm not terribly coordinated when it comes to the button mashing aspect.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I pressed this button instead of activating that, and oh, now it's passed. Essentially, I'm probably every team's Leroy Jenkins
Right.
as far as just, oh, my ult's ready. I guess boom,
Right.
because otherwise, 5 seconds later, I lose it because I get killed or the
I mean,
opportunity. It's like if it
right.
happens, I'm just gonna hope for the best.
You should play Lucio. I think you would do well with Lucio because
What is that?
Lucio is a healer and he heals anybody
It's
or.
too much responsibility.
No, 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 but you don't have to do anything to heal people. It's passive. Anyone who is within a ring around you automatically gets healed. And
But I
all
have to
you have
stay
to.
alive.
Yes, but you can jump around. And you can run fast. So you can switch to speed boost and you can like fly around the map.
Does
So,
that song Jump Around play while I'm doing it?
yes, it does. They got the rights. It
Okay.
was very out of character for the entire game, but
That's
it was
the
important
only
to me.
way that I might consider doing it.
Just a thought. Run it past Hal. I'm sure he would agree with me that you would make an excellent Lucio.
No, I want you two to plan what the best course of action is for me.
We're we only have your best interests in mind at all times.
Treat me as a gaming simpleton.
No. Uh,
What are we gonna do about Ken? Oh, I don't know.
Ken, we're out of time.
Oh, there was so much more I could have done with that Canadian accent.
I know. You're going to have to save it for next week when we learn whether or not. Oh, wait.
The text back?
I'm a bad Canadian. I've never actually been curling. But
Whoa,
do you
Ben,
like it?
Ben, yeah, that was parsed in a very
Yeah.
suspicious manner.
Yeah. I'm going to say stop avoiding the question.
What I imagine right now is he's coming out in maple sweats. Sure, she's asking me about curling. Oh, the accent's coming back. Oh no, everybody, look away from me, eh?
So we will learn the answer to that next week.
Let's give it 1 minute.
Well, we
One
have to do our
oh,
wrap up anyway.
oh, that's right. Okay, you
Uh,
and I, please, let's do our wrap up in Canadian accents. So I want to hear your
Okay,
best.
then.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
I guess I'll just do like Midwestern because I think I know Midwestern better. Like,
So
don't you know?
you're gonna Fargo it up.
Yeah, I guess so because that's like it's on the Canadian border.
You're gonna
Isn't
go
it?
full Gunnison.
Okay, yeah, I'm not doing this.
You are. Come
If
on.
you would like to, I'm sorry, but if you would like to watch us live stream these episodes, you can go to patreon.com/Ken Plume and patreon.com/Rebecca and pledge to give us $5 and you can join in on these live streams.
My turn.
Yep.
And if you want to follow us on social media, you can do so by following Rebecca on Twitter at twitter.com/Rebecca Watson, or you can follow me at twitter.com/Ken Plume, eh?
You're definitely leaning Swedish, just so you're aware.
Birdie Ferguski Bergie Berter refer to to Twitter.
And if you would like to listen to archived podcasts of this show, you can go to justifmidimright.com where we are nearly up to date. This by the end of this week, I think that we will be up to date. And from then on, episodes will go up on the Monday after we record them. I feel like that's fair.
It's so weird for the people who are listening to this on the podcast because we've already achieved being up to date, or they wouldn't be hearing our status updates.
Time travel's weird.
Now everyone's become Canadian.
There's still no response from my Canadian. So people are just going to have to tune in next week to find out whether or not my boyfriend likes curling.
We're going to have to not forget that this is a thing we can find out.
They'll remind us, I'm sure.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
And thank you, Ken, for being here with me.
Likewise, you'll have a good night, eh?
You too. Good night.